Victor, what's happening?
Good morning, Ed. How we doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Hey, we're giving more money away. So in the chat, very similar to the Super Bowl, in today's chat, all you need to do is pick the winner of both the men's and the women's NCAA basketball championships. We're down to the Sweet 16 in both groups.
Okay.
I started it off. I'm taking Michigan State in the men's.
Okay.
And of course, we're going with Notre Dame in the women's. So fill it up. There's going to be $500 residentially given away and $500 commercially tomorrow. So who do you like?
I'm going with Bama, Roll Tide for the men, Notre Dame for the women.
You're with me.
I did. I'm with you on that one, actually. Yeah. I'm actually with you on that one. We finally agree on something, Ed. Yeah.
So fill that up in the chat. And like I said, if you're working off your iPad, you got to tell us who you are. We had a lot of trouble figuring out who the Super Bowl winner was.
Okay.
Because they just had their iPad number up there.
Yep.
So if you're on your iPad and we can't identify you in the chat, just put your name in there. So if you win, I will save all these chats. And when this tournament's over in a couple weeks, 3 weeks, I guess.
Yep.
We will send the monies out to the winners. How's that?
That sounds good. Ed,
Just
on
free
a scale of 1 to 10, Ed, as being a sports fan,
yes,
how would you rank yourself?
I'm a pretty big sports fan.
Are you up there to 10?
I'm an 8 or a 9 maybe. I mean, live sports, I just love it.
Okay. Like
Number
how many
draft
sports
pick.
events do you watch a week?
During this time of year, I'll watch the basketball games. I'll watch them tonight, and I'll
Okay.
watch them tomorrow night.
Okay,
And then
okay.
I'll watch them Saturday and Sunday.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. And probably from end to end. You know?
All right.
But yeah, so that's about it. How about you?
I'm about a 1.
Yeah, no, you're not. I thought you were
I'm not even a 1.
Like a negative 1, right? Like,
Yeah,
you
I'm
don't
like
care.
if I happen to
don't care what
wander into
happens
a
in the
bar and there's a sports game, I'll watch it. That's about it. So
He didn't even know who was playing.
No,
But
I did.
I had to print the brackets too, so we'll give you a chance to print your brackets and,
All right.
and figure out who you're going to pick. There's only 16 on each side, so figure that out. What else is going on? What have you been doing? You wrote a book.
I wrote a book.
We're going to give it away.
Future of Selling.
So
Beautiful book. It's
we
all
will-
about AI agents, the whole bit.
We will determine like the best 2 or 3 chatters in the chat.
Yep.
And we'll send that book out.
It really is exciting about what's
Talk-
happening with AI. So the AI piece is all about what's coming down the pike in the next 3 to 5 years with artificial intelligence, how to use agents, and I don't think we understand the full impact. You and I, we've discussed this, but I don't think most people understand the full impact of AI and how it's going to enhance or augment the sales game. So it's a great book to read. It's a very easy read. Yeah.
Yeah, and just as we travel around, I've been on the road like a dog, right? I mean, I think I got it up to 31 or 32 hotel nights.
Wow.
Since January or since February actually, and but getting around, you see a lot of folks using ChatGPT.
Yep.
You see a lot of folks taking advantage of this Notebook LM that we shared a couple of broadcasts ago. You see that kind of starting to go, and we talked about that today. Having that curiosity to dig into these tools, and that's a pretty good start.
Yeah, everybody's dipping their toe in the digital water, so to speak. And I think the agent thing is like the evolution of what's coming and how you're going to be able to use these agents to kind of follow me on LinkedIn. I would recommend you follow me on LinkedIn. I'm putting some great stuff, how the actual interactions work. And I think people will be surprised what's coming. I think it's all good news.
Yeah, and getting ahead of it. These jobs are never going to be eliminated by AI, right? I mean, the jobs that these folks do,
You
where
guys
they go
are
out and
safe.
check houses and they got to do inspections. We're pretty safe.
You're
right?
pretty safe for the at least next 10 to 20 years. You're pretty safe.
Yeah, until they start flying drones around and taking robots into houses, we're going to be good. We're going to be
Wouldn't
good.
that be cool? Like you got drones that actually go in the attic for you, just kind of do a scan of the whole thing and just
I
come
might
back.
go back into sales if I didn't have to climb up a ladder.
That'd be kind of cool.
We'll take it from there. What else is going on?
Nothing much.
What have you been doing?
Let me see. Traveling. Last stop was I did a pool company.
The Hayward,
the Hayward Distribution Pool Company. Fascinating. Again, they're starting to, play with the AI, trying to figure out how to make their sales more effective. So a lot of cool stuff. Yourself? What have you been up to?
I went to President's Club. I get lucky enough to go to President's Club. I don't have to earn it, but we were down in the
I didn't
Bahamas.
notice that. That's a nice tie, actually.
It is, and it ties nice too, which is unusual for a President's Club tie. You guys that have
It's
won them out
blue
there
and pink. That's interesting.
Well, pink flamingos.
Okay,
so
like
I guess
it.
we stayed at that Baha Mar. We talked about that, right? And they got like their own resident flamingos that you take pictures with. And I didn't do none of that, but that, I mean, just what a great event. And
how was the hotel? Did you like the hotel?
Yeah, it was. You were right about it being expensive. Holy smokes! I got in trouble when I got a chance to speak to the whole group in the breakfast meeting, and I made mention that we didn't give them enough money on their per diem. And I got in trouble for that afterwards. But that happens all the time anyway.
It does. I
don't worry about that. I don't worry about that because I'm not here much longer. But no, we had Kevin Brown come in and talk. And based on some of the stuff I'd seen, and then your solid recommendation on, and I told him this, that the reason that we hooked him up down there, and he was Chris Pierce has been to, I think, 34 President's Club trips, right? He's a commercial seller out in L.A. He's been to 30, 40 trips. He said, bar none, without a doubt, hands down, not even close, the best speaker we ever had.
Yeah.
Ever had.
Look up his book. I forgot, what's the title of his book?
Hero Effect.
The Hero Effect. So I saw Kevin speak, and I was like, because I'm very critical of speakers, and I was like, this guy's awesome, and so I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. He's a great speaker.
And here's the good news. Here's the good news. I had some back and forth with him yesterday. We have the video of that talk.
Do you?
And we're trying to, Aubrey and the team, they're trying to get that thing uploaded so that we can share it with everybody.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think it's 50 minutes of pure gold. And I mean, the audience was in tears.
Yeah.
I mean, just really moved emotionally.
Yeah.
There are a couple things that he said during that broadcast that I can't get out of my head.
Yeah.
You know, that is just stuck with me.
His storytelling and his ability, just the way he delivers it, with that kind of that stoic face it is sometimes.
Amen.
And like I said, one of the best speakers I've ever seen. He doesn't move around a lot, and it's just like he's just a great storyteller. I'd rank him up there with Simon Sinek, easy.
Yeah, not a single slide, not a slide,
Yep.
not a slide. So we don't have to worry about getting the slide deck loaded up for you. You just sit and listen to this cat talk, and it was amazing.
Kevin Brown.
What else is going on?
That's it.
Yeah, so my road has been going to all these kickoff meetings. Like I said, I think I did one yesterday up in Columbus for the commercial team, and that was number 17 for the year. So I got one more left, I think. But then I'll kind of be down. I got a down week, not a down week. I'm home next week, so I'm going to get caught up on a bunch of stuff and take a deeper dive, as we talked earlier, into that.
You
AI.
sounded sick yesterday when you called me.
It's the pollen and the allergies, and I've been on. I think I've
you mumbled the.
I think I've been on like 25 flights. I'm already to like almost diamond status with Delta just in this short little run. But let's get into some content. Let's get in and share some numbers for you based on February's performance and share a little bit of year to date. So starting out with residential pest control sales, they are smoking, folks. And even we're a couple days to buttoning up March. They're smoking then too. We have had a tremendous run coming out of the gates with residential pest control sales. The folks at the OC3 are just slaying it. To give you an example, in the month of February, OC3 sales, their piece of the pest control sales that we sell residential in the company, which amounts to about 75% of our total, they were up 13% year over year. Year to date, they're up double digit, 10%. They've sold $35 million in residential pest control sales in the first 2 months of the year. The other cool thing about that for the folks on this call is that they have made over 46,000, they brought on 46,000 new customers. And all that means for you guys and gals out there are more places to go. So be chasing down those starts, do quality assurance visits, check the starts, give them that whole home inspection that we promise them. And you got 46,000. We got 1,000. We got 1,000 residential sellers. That's 46 for every one of you out there. And it doesn't spread that way across the country, but just think about that. They're killing it. We're a little flat on the field side of residential PC sales. In the month of February, we just flat to last year. We got to do better than that. We got to sell more mosquito. We got to get into that. And year to date on the residential sales side with our outside sellers, we're only up 2% year over year. So let's get caught up. Let's start pacing with that OC3 group and get that thing to double digits. So overall, 10% increase in February. Okay. Double digit residential pest control sales increase. We didn't have any of those hardly last year. We had a couple in like November and December, but we didn't have any of them. And now we're on our third month in a row of a double-digit residential pest control sales increase. So that's smoking. And again, that just creates places for us to go. On the termite side of the house, where most of these folks kind of live and breathe, our termite sales, our traditional termite sales in the month of February, we're only up 3%, and we're flat to last year on our drill it and fill it. You know, there's been a little bit of a lead decline. I don't ever throw anything in leads. I don't think that really matters. But at the same point, we're kind of flat to last year on our traditional drill it and fill it. We're up 2% year to date in our bait sales. That's a little bit better than we did last year, but we got to pick that up. Again, where we're really smoking it is on the ancillary sales. Month of February, we're up 14%, which, believe it or not, was a dip compared to January, because total year to date, we're up 20% in ancillary sales year over year through the first 2 months. And having a banner month this month in March. You know, the month is almost over, right? I mean, we're really doing well there. So just outstanding. The mosquito sales were up 18% year over year. We sold $10.5 million of mosquito-related services already. And most of that to date is being sold at the OC3 when they do their bundle, when they sell them both. So just crazy numbers again.
Beautiful numbers, man.
Not to kind of throw stones at the commercial folks, but they're outpacing the commercial folks. tomorrow's commercial.
I think that
numbers.
was a stone.
That was a stone.
That was
But we'll tell them that tomorrow. We'll tell them we told them that tomorrow. But no, it's just outstanding.
Yeah.
And again, when you pull it all together, all the efforts that we've had over the years, we have this recurring revenue engine that's just cranking out profit. Right. So year to date for profit for the first 2 months of the year, on plan. Uncle Pat's happy. Everything's good. I took a look at the stock yesterday. It was up over $53. As soon as I say that, it goes down. Yeah. So I'm sure it'll go down as soon as I say that. I don't know. But
it's kind of volatile right now, right? It's just
the market is.
Weeks,
but what's cool about that, when you see the market really dip.
Yeah, the market, I'm saying, is volatile right now.
When the market goes down, ours goes up. So it's such a balance because I got so much of my 401ks in our company stock because that's what they match in. That it doesn't really grow, but it doesn't hurt. It doesn't get hurt. My wife said, "How much money we lose yesterday?" I said, "I don't know. You
don't want to look at it. You don't want to look at it. Yeah.
No, but all good. In addition to those crazy good numbers, 24 folks, Victor, got paid on $100,000 in the month of February. That short month of February. I mean, they're the shortest selling days of the month. Of the year. It's just a short month.
Yep.
24 of our folks got paid on that, and we had 5 spectacular performances out of the OC3.
Okay.
So let's.
Roll the video.
Roll the video.
Great numbers, man. Great numbers.
Matt Ketchum out of Permatree up in Virginia, 172,000. That's his first time at the top. He's been on the list numerous times. He was at President's Club, but he'll get it. Matt, it's 500 coming to you this time.
Matt, you can't catch me, Ketchum.
Check.
I love it.
You can't catch me. You can't catch me.
That's nice.
I like it. Hassan, right there, the chairman of the Chairman's Club. He got the big old plaque, and he got all the highest awards last.
Did he?
At the Bahamas, just 2 years in a row, he's been our #1 guy. And I think year to date, he's there. Him and Matt are going to have a nice battle this year.
Nice.
Who else you see on there?
Let me see. Somebody, Elijah Becker?
Yeah, that's a relatively new name. He's out in Vista.
They got 3 straight Californians right there. You got Derek Nesbitt, Marco Lopez as well.
Amen.
California in the house. There you go.
So you got Dennis Lopez. I just want to tell you a little bit about him. I had a chance to. He was at my table for the chairman or for the President's Club dinner, right? After the awards, they do dinner, and it was pretty cool. Right. And I got a chance. He got a chance to sit at my table. He's been here for like 10 months. And he made President's Club in 10 months, 10 or 11 months.
Really?
Just came right out of the gates, just blowing and going. And the coolest thing was, also at my table, was Chris Pierce. So the guy with 34 President's Club wins is sitting at the table with the guy that made his first trip.
Yeah.
And Chris Pierce was so humble and so good. Him and Dennis just had this conversation. I just introduced him. I said, you guys need to talk to each other. And I walked away. Half an hour later, they're still talking. But I got a chance to meet his wife, and it's just a great story.
Did you ask him what happened in the 10 months? How did he get there?
They're gonna get tired of hearing this.
Yeah.
He just followed the process that they told me to follow. It's not a real secret.
Right.
Follow the process. Do what we're trying to guide you to do, and your bosses are telling you to do. And you can have that kind of success.
Nice.
So he's a hustler, very pleasant dude, very easy to talk to, all that kind of stuff.
Very nice.
Very intense, outstanding. Who else?
I like that. Great names on here. Dominic Etheridge. I don't think I've seen that name.
He's been there before. Absolutely.
Has he?
Absolutely, yeah.
Dollinger, I think, yeah.
Joey Dollinger, he's there all the time. Carson Ward, I think he was 2 or 3 this year.
And didn't you mention, she's pulling it up in the rear here, Lindsay
Dulane.
Dulane?
Yeah, she had trouble. She got her passport.
Really Dulane?
She got her passport like on the day before she could go to Bahamas, but she
really?
got it done.
Okay.
And I just noticed yesterday on her group meet, she sold $49,000 yesterday.
Nice.
Yesterday, she sold $49,000. So
hey, Lindsay, do me a favor. put your pronunciation phonetically in the chat here. I don't think it's Dulane. It can't be Dulane.
All right. Well, are you going to get me in trouble again?
Yeah, I think it's like it looks more difficult than Dulane.
You think so? Who else you see on there?
Let me see.
Couple new names. I mean, Zach Waller's relatively new. Nate Wetzler. We got a Yinzer on there. Zach Shutuck. I think he may have been on there once before. He's in North Pittsburgh. So I don't know if he got the full South Pittsburgh Yinzer, but he's still a Yinzer.
By the way, officially, Lindsay DeLon.
DeLon, okay.
That's more elegant than Dulane,
thanks,
right? DeLon.
Thanks for correcting me.
DeLon.
Why can't I let that go?
DeLon.
I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
What else you got? Anybody else? How about the call center folks?
Shannon, let the music play. McKay,
she just keeps
killing
ringing the bell.
Killing it. 225. Holy
keeps
buckets.
Ringing the bell.
Gary, you're boring me. Frannel, you're always there. Michael Morton.
Morton's a new name to me.
Is it right? Yeah. That's a new name.
Maybe Jeff or April or one of the OC3 managers. Are
Teresa. You know, what is she doing? Just taking vacation days? Because she's usually number one. What's up, Teresa?
I call her out. She's going to wear me out.
Because she knows I like her. She knows I like her.
After this broadcast.
Josh, I don't recognize Josh.
Josh, I think, is a new name as well.
Okay.
No, we're adding a bunch of new agents out there, right? It's that time. We bring them on board. And,
how is Tim Tarantello doing over at the call center? Is he handling the business over there?
Look, I just read the numbers.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Are you
13%.
happy?
Yeah,
is he meeting expectations?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, cool.
Meeting expectations. Quit getting me in trouble.
I'm trying.
What else you got?
That's it.
So, traveling around,
doing
this thing, and thinking about the time of year, right? That we're either in or approaching, right? So, most of our inbound termite leads, the swarmer leads, the folks that when those little buggers come out of the ground, we don't get a whole bunch of them like back in the old days. Everybody wants to waiting for the big swarm, the swarm of 85 or something like that. but we still get them, and we get these inbound leads, and we get tossed into these, I guess what I would call the red oceans, because people are going to get bids oftentimes. But what I want to talk today, as I traveled around, there was a lot of conversation with the managers as I've gone through all these kickoff meetings about us not bundling the way that we potentially could. So I'm thinking about the time of year, and I'm thinking, man, this is that sticky time of year where our folks do get some hesitation to put it all out there.
Right.
Because if it's an inbound lead for termites and they're getting a couple more bids, they're getting a quote maybe from Terminex or Massey or your local player. So I think some of our salespeople kind of tap the brakes on pitching it all.
It's like they get the psychology of getting psyched out.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like, I'm just going to try to sell that one.
Yeah.
I'll come back for all this other stuff later. But talk about just the whole concept. Your triple cheeseburger talk is what hooked us.
Right.
It's what hooked Sire, Matt Donnelly, Mike Markham. These guys still talk about that from when we shared that with them 12 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Just that mindset of putting it all together and offering the customer. So talk about options. Talk about that.
I'm going to talk about options, but I also want to talk about mindset because I think this drives everything. Like when I talk to different companies, different salespeople, I think that's the benefit I have, that I get to talk to different companies, different verticals. And there seems to be this common problem among salespeople, not all, just those who are not performing as high, is that there's this hesitancy to present all the options. And the hesitancy comes from, one, they're in their own head about what they should offer. Two, the fear of missing out on winning the business. And three, they might turn the customer off. They'll go to the actual competitor. So what we tend to do is play it safe and just offer almost like what they call a foot in the door strategy. I'll just offer them this because I know our competitor, in this case, Terminex, is offering that. But what they don't realize is that if you're a true salesperson sells on value. Let me define what that means. If you truly believe, and I hope you do it when you do the inspection, that you should offer more than just A, you have to do A, B, C because the customer needs it, then it's your fiduciary responsibility to do so. So don't think about trying to close the deal. Think about this is what the customer needs because that's why we sell. Would you agree that we sell because we're trying to help?
100%. And I think that message gets conveyed to the field really well, right? Our people believe that. They believe that they're out there helping people.
Right.
But I think, again, that hesitancy comes in when they jump into that red ocean and everybody's chasing that one sale, right? That one termite sale. And I think oftentimes when we fail to bundle, we miss a monster opportunity in my mind to create separation.
Yes.
Putting that plant that seed of doubt in their mind. Well, why didn't the Terminex guy tell me about all the moisture issues in the crawl?
Correct.
Why didn't he tell me about all the moisture issues around the outside of the house that I got to get these gutters fixed?
Yeah, so emphasize that bundle equals separation.
Yeah.
So by the way, we should define red ocean is There's a lot of competition. That's why there's blood in the water.
Yeah.
Blue ocean, there's no competition, right? In a red ocean mentality is that you're so afraid to lose that you sell not to lose. You don't play to win, you sell not to lose. And that's what comes up. And I think when you add more options, it creates and I think you've pointed this out, it creates a stickier customer.
Yes.
Separation.
100%.
You talk about that.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, if we get all the services in play in their house,
Right.
they're going to stick. You know, and if you're not offering mosquito service this time of year, you're crazy.
Right.
I mean, yeah, let's put aside all the stuff that's going on in the news. You know, with all the things with mosquito, and you know, there's a story of one of our very best commercial salesman, Jordan, has shared this openly with folks that his son ended up with West Nile. You know, one of the top orkin salespeople on the planet. His son ended up in Johns Hopkins Hospital for almost 3 months trying to get better. I mean, serious illness because of that. So well, I don't want you playing that card all the time that way, but we owe it to them to pitch a mosquito.
Right.
We owe it to them to sell more pest control.
Yep.
You got to protect that whole home. And I think sometimes, again, falling back on that hesitancy, I think oftentimes we're selling with our wallet and prejudging that customer, saying, you know what, I can't afford all that, or I would never buy all that.
Right.
And we're doing them, as you said, a disservice.
It is a disservice. By the way, we're not only prejudging them, like I don't think they can afford it. We do that. That's one thing we do. I don't think they can afford that. The second thing we do is that if we don't get the verbal response or the right body language when we ask a question or say something, we make assumptions that they're not interested.
Yeah.
Where it could just be the person's demeanor.
Yeah.
And so again, I think we psych ourselves out and we get scared. And as soon as you get scared to present something, you're doing them a disservice. But I go back to what you said earlier, and that is that when we're selling more products and putting everything on the table, if Terminix comes in and offers only one thing, and I come in as Orkin and I offer the three things, because here are the three things you need, first question in my mind as a customer is going to be, why didn't Terminix or whatever competitor offer me this? Why didn't they point it out? And if I can make my case that you need these three things, I've built some credibility.
And I think it even goes back, take it all the way back to the inspection. You know, are you doing a whole home inspection?
Yeah.
You know, when you get a termite lead, are you running over to the baseboard in the kids' room because Mr. and Mrs. Jones are chasing you over there, showing you where the termites swarmed out in the kids' room, and stopping there? You know, I think we're doing way better with all this stuff. I would give you all that. I mean, we're doing way better with bundling, but we're not where we want to be. I don't think any of us are really where we want to be. So if you get that termite lead, slow it down.
Yeah.
You're in the house. They got termites. Get in the attic. Get in the crawl. Get around the outside. Blow them away with the inspection that will create that separation. And then put all that stuff on the table and let them decide, right?
Yeah, by the way, it's just in parallel. I want to go back to something that we've talked about in the past, is that we talked about, doing a walkthrough, right? Going through the house. And there's a correlation that the faster you walk through it, the more it seems transactional.
Amen.
Right?
Amen.
Seems transactional.
Amen.
And I don't know, and I think I asked you this question before, but we don't have data, but I think we have kind of a rule of thumb, is that if I say, what's the ideal time to be in there, Ed, on the first visit, what would you say?
If you got a termite lead, if you're not there a couple hours minimum, doing a whole home inspection, push it 2-3 hours. I was up with the Chicago team, who's really good at this stuff, watching Nick Kikens and Ben Dietz present. The RSM up there, Cliff Brown, said, they don't need to hear it from me. I'm going to put my two Chairman's Club salespeople in front of my team.
Right.
And those guys are talking to spending 3 hours in a house, breaking it down, walking through it, making it make sense, putting it all together.
Yes.
Figuring out how to spin it and putting it out that way. That's what we need to do. And just leaning back into that triple cheeseburger.
Yeah.
The whole story behind Wendy's and the triple cheeseburger, right?
You got three options.
Yeah, you got three options, right?
Right.
They literally created the triple cheeseburger to sell more doubles.
Yep.
Because if you just had a double or a single, what are you going to pick?
They go with the cheapest one.
You're going to go with the cheapest one.
Yep.
So throw a triple in there. So maybe that's all we're doing with some of this bundling, is putting another option in there. So you put the termite in there. You put the attic work in there. You put some mosquito in there. You put some pest control in there. You lay them all out, and by God, they picked the termite and maybe the mosquito.
Yeah.
So you walked away with more than you would if you didn't put it out there. And the other thing that you'll find out as you do this enough is typically, oftentimes, they buy it all.
Yep.
I'll take it all. I'll take it all. Talk about that buyer.
Yeah, I want to emphasize something, because I want to make sure we hit the timepiece right, because I want to validate what you said.
Yeah.
So I'm doing this presentation, I told you, with Hayward Pool Distribution Company, right? They sell the equipment. And so they sell pool designs, right? So they use the studio where they sell pool design. I asked, because I was curious, because they have to do kind of a walkthrough, backyard, design the pool, and sit down, design the pool. I mean, it's really cool 3D rendering stuff.
Yeah.
You could move the fireplace, the sauna, the whole bit. And I asked different people, what's your average time in that house during the first rendering? On average, the top salespeople said 2 hours.
There you go.
And a couple of people said 45 minutes. And I said, well, how are sales? What's your close rate? And they were very low, like 20%.
Yeah.
The people who were in there longer were closing at about 35 to 40%.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that kind of validates, what you're saying. And the thing is, here's an interesting dynamic that we don't think about. And I want to tie this back to the bundling. If I'm in there a short period of time, like 30, 40 minutes, and I offer them 5 things, they're like, okay, you're trying to sell me because you weren't here that long.
Yeah.
And but if I'm there 2 hours, they're thinking, he's really taking a long time. Yeah. So he's really going through everything.
Amen.
And so now when I come down, I can justify coming down after 2 hours, so to speak, out of the attic or wherever I'm at, and say, here's all the things I found in the last 2 hours I've been there.
Absolutely. And again, put it in the red ocean. Folks, your competitors aren't spending that kind of time.
That was the differentiator.
You may have somebody in your market that's doing that, but it's pretty rare. They're in and out. Writing the price on the business card, all that kind of stuff. What are you seeing? Put some stuff in the chat.
Ed Cox said 2 hours works great during swarm season, especially when you're being double booked.
Good deal. Good deal.
Aaron Askin, if I hope I got that right, says interact, don't transact. Dude, that's short and crispy right
Absolutely.
there. Well said. Well said. But I think when you look at the options, Ed, again, people love options.
Yeah.
And our job is to give them the options.
Amen.
And we bring our expertise to the table by saying, based on what I found the last 2 hours, here are the things I think you should do. And we also talk about they want options, but they also want you, the Orkin Pro, to recommend.
100%.
And just say, if it were mine to do, here's what I would do at a minimum.
Yeah, at a minimum.
And by the way, you have to say stuff like that. And then you say, because. And that adds the weight. And you do the explainer. Yeah. And I think that's what we need to do more of.
Yeah, it ties into commercial a little bit, but it ties in here too. Yesterday, I saw Zach Filecki up in Columbus, and he told the story. He goes in and offers, this is the minimum service package you can buy. This is and it's loaded already. Yep. It's got fly control. It's got these bundles in already, and he leads with that as his minimum. That's the least you can buy today, Victor.
Yeah, my dentist. I went in, right, got my checkup, and he's always like bossing me around in a good way. And he found a cracked tooth. They took a picture, and I was like, "Is it really cracked?" You get that skepticism. And he did what you guys do. He showed me the picture, and they stick a camera in there, and it looks horrible, by the way. For some reason, they did the X-ray from the side, Ed, and it looked bad. Yeah. But it doesn't look that bad because it's just the X-ray. Yeah. Then he stuck a camera in my mouth. It was really cool, and then you get it up close, and I'm like, "Oh!" And he goes, and he literally said, "Consider yourself a king. You're about to be crowned." Next week. Awesome. But he said it with this authority that there is no other option. We're not going to try to refill that. And that's what customers want. Yeah. You're the expert. You're the pro. You went through the house. Recommend, but do it with authority. Like, here's why.
Absolutely. And we'll wrap up this segment with one statement. We started this conversation up a year ago or so, and Jason Sire, who I think is one of our I don't think he's one of our greatest termite salesmen on the planet, working for Orkin, 20-year President's Club member. He put a post on his group me after we finished this last year, and he said, I don't feel comfortable walking in to a house where all I can pitch is termite. He said, I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to create separation, termite job versus termite job versus termite job. Because I know I'm going to be $500, $1,000 more than the other two folks are going to get in. If I don't have stuff I can bundle and add in, I don't have any confidence in making that sale. And this guy is a rock star, folks. And he's telling you, I need to have it all to create that separation.
Bundle creates separation.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Got it.
Think that's enough?
That's enough.
That's pretty good.
I think they're tired.
Yeah, they're tired. Let's do some housekeeping. Let me start with the safety message. We had a broadcast earlier this week on safety, and they shared the attic claim dollars with us, and it was scary, folks. Do not walk into an attic, climb up into an attic without an attic mat, or that floor better be completely floored up there, up in that attic. Don't be stepping around and dancing around on joists and struts like you think you can because you're some gymnast. You have to use the attic mat. Managers, you cannot let your HSIs walk around without those attic mats. Saw a demo yesterday in the commercial meeting of the attic mat. You got to use them. I mean, you just have to use them. We will be out of the insulation business if you all don't quit stepping through attics and falling through attics. So let's get those attic mats out, use them. Get yourself home safely. We don't need you falling through an attic. That's enough on that. 3 months left in the rack contest, so you could drop the hammer. We're going to Vail, Colorado. I've never been there. I can't wait to go. I don't have to win to go, but 40 of y'all are going to win to go. So you get after that. Again, those PC sales are just absolutely smoking right now, just booming. Make sure you're chasing down all those starts. There's just more opportunity for you being served up by Tim and his team out there at OC3. So get after those. One more thing that's going to happen about mid-month next month that I want you to pay attention to. We're going to dedicate just a specific kind of 10, 15-minute broadcast to it. But the OC3 is going to start to sell termite work, Centricon jobs over the phone about April 15th. We're still working out some of the details. What's going to happen if they make that sale, it's going to be shipped over to you guys to go do the inspection. You're going to get full credit. Nobody's taking any money out of your pocket. You're going to get full credit on that termite sale that the OC3 makes. We're going to pay both of you. We are missing opportunities when we have those folks on the phone to bundle up some termite with them. We're doing a phenomenal job out there bundling mosquito. We're now going to start to bundle termite. We're going to keep you guys in the loop because we need your eyes on there. You need to go out and inspect it. So you'll go out and inspect it, make sure it meets the matrix. You'll do that contract and have all the opportunities to upsell a customer that has already bought pest control and bought Centricon protection. If it doesn't meet the grade or you need to do something different, you find live termites, that's going to be all in your hands. But just understand they're working through all the details right now. There'll be a broadcast before we launch this thing live that will put you in that space to where you're going to go out and do those inspections. The termite work, Centricon, is already going to be sold. You have to go out and reassure it, and set it up again. But at that point in time, you're going to get paid on it. The call center agent's going to get paid on it. We're going to drive the daylights out of this. My boss has a goal of having 400,000 termite customers on the books, and we're going to get there. We're going to get there by doing this. So look forward to that. I'll be doing another broadcast probably with Tim Tarantello in the next week or so after we're still ironing out all the boss things and how that all works. So don't hit the panic button. Don't get all up in your stuff. You're going to get paid on the sale when it gets kicked over to you. You're going to have an opportunity then to go out and upsell it even more. So now I'm super excited about that. I think it's going to be great. And at the end of this broadcast right now, we are going to scroll for you the President's Club. Next year we're going to Scottsdale, Arizona. We don't have that video. We'll have that for you the next time. But as we trail on out of here, Victor, we're going to share all the winners of this year's President's Club that spent some time in the Bahamas.
Let's do it.
Let's do it, Matt.
I want to see this.